Sun Pharma and ICGEB have announced a partnership to develop a new vaccine for dengue. And to speak more on that, we have with us Mr. Kirti Ganorkar from Sun Pharma. So, welcome to Bloomberg Quint. Good afternoon. To begin with, I would like to ask from you, what are the dynamics of this partnership? Basically, what's the role that Sun Pharma plays and what's the part for ICGEB in this?
Sure. So this is a major milestone for Sun Pharma. Today we have announced that we have signed an exclusive agreement with ICGEB to develop a novel candidate for dengue vaccine. So ICGEB in last 7 years had developed this candidate and brought to a stage of preclinical development, what we call as a research. And this collaboration is now taking this into a clinical stage of development. So what we are doing basically is to complete the toxicology studies for this dengue vaccine candidate, and after that we'll go into phase 1 clinical study. And then next logical step is from phase 1 to phase 3, and then the product comes to the market. So Sun Pharma is partnering with ICGEB to bring this product to the market. So I would say in short, like ICGEB has a role of researcher and Sun Pharma has a role of developer.
Okay. And on the expense sharing part, is there a ratio as to what will be the expense sharing part on R&D specific?
So ICGEB has done the work so far on their own, and then going forward, all the expenses and the investment would be made by Sun Pharma. And the arrangement between ICGEB and Sun Pharma is in such a way that under certain milestone, and once you meet certain regulatory conditions, then they will get a milestone payment and royalty. But all the development investment going forward will be done by Sun Pharma. Yeah.
And on the commercialization part of it, so which are the markets you're specifically looking? Of course, India will be a big one, but you're also looking for global markets. So which are the specific areas if you can get?
Sure. So as all of us know, the dengue, its prevalence and incidence is very high in India and the nearby countries. So for first market for us is India. So we will do initial studies in India and then go to the other markets which are like a developing market. So we are going this in a 3 steps. First develop the product for Indian market, then go to the developing markets. But finally, the Sun Pharma's ultimate aim is to take this vaccine program to the global market, which also includes developed countries like US, Europe and Japan, so that we can get a good candidate which works effectively across all the populations. So there are 2 types of populations are there who are affected with dengue vaccine and who are not affected with dengue vaccine. So what we are focusing is that this dengue vaccine works in both the population.
And so I understand this is the initial phase. You have the preclinical trial and then the other phases. Is there a set timeline that you have in mind, and specifically if all the tests are passed leading to the commercial launch?
So we have signed the agreement today. So we will of course has to go through this, and we have a joint steering committee which is equal representation both from Sun Pharma and ICGEB, and we will work out the project chart or a Gantt chart, what we call for the development. But as I told earlier also, it's a Sun Pharma's priority to develop this vaccine, because if you see for dengue, today there is no treatment available and there is no vaccine available in India. So we will make all our efforts to see that the vaccine comes to the market at earliest possible date.
And final question, so with ICGEB you have been in partnership to develop other vaccines as well. Going ahead, are there any other talks which are likely right now with ICGEB or other organizations as such?
So in May 2016, we also collaborated with ICGEB, and that is for the treatment of dengue. So these are 2 different things. Like the earlier collaboration is treatment of dengue, and now the current collaboration is prevention of dengue. So as you know, like Sun Pharma, we are always opportunistic. We are looking for what is available and what is the need, what is currently required both in developed and developing market, and we keep on looking at such kind of opportunities.